God is infinite, eternal, and indivisible. And since we are permanently lodged in our beloved, we are all one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thanks to beloved Baba and thanks to all of you. We are reading God Speaks. By Baba's grace, we have come to the very last part, which is part 10, conclusion. And we are reading supplement number 36. We've come halfway through. At the moment, we start from page number 272, 272, and this is session number 41. But before I start, I just want, because I tend to forget. Yesterday, we spoke about
Action.
the goal being God realization and how remembrance becomes the key for the goal, for attaining the goal. So, my dear friend,
Perin.
thank you. You thought I forgot her name? Perin Jasumani, when she heard this, because it was not a complete quote which I had uttered yesterday, so she had been kind enough to send me the complete quote, which I would like to start with for today's session. If God realization is the goal and remembrance is the key, then everything else is whiling away your time. Words to the effect I had spoken yesterday. But now what is important is whatever you do, do it for Him. That way, remembrance becomes part of your life. Eraj Jasawala. So, in other words, the additional sentence says that whatever you are doing, you are cooking, you are eating, you are talking, you are walking, you are going to work, you at the back of your mind, it should be, I am doing it for Baba. It is for Baba that I am doing all this. And when you do this, automatically, spontaneously, naturally, remembrance becomes a part of your life. And that is the key, because He has not given us anything this time. If you really look at it, no rites, no rituals, no ceremonies, no nothing. He simply said, remember me love me in each other. All right. So now we are on page number 272, session number 41. Go.
Only actions can nullify actions in the same way that poison can counteract the effects of poison. A deeply embedded thorn may be extricated by the use of another thorn or any sharp object resembling it, such as a needle, used with skill and precaution. Similarly, actions are totally uprooted by other actions when they are committed by some activating agent other than the self.
Yesterday we did that actions are connected with life. Actions are there in order not only to accumulate samskaras, but also to eradicate and emancipate us and free us from the samskaras. So actions are very potent, very powerful. And the way we can use actions to nullify our past actions is what Baba says. Yesterday we did, to create a provisional ego that is subservient to that of the master. Same thing, what Baba says, only actions can nullify actions. In the same way that poison can counteract the effect of poison. A deeply embedded thorn may be extricated by the use of another thorn or any sharp object resembling it, such as a needle, used with skill and precaution. Now, this is a very, very, very potent, powerful. I had learned something under some leader and used to say whenever he wanted to emphasize, ये करोड़ रुपये की बात है, करोड़ रुपये की बात है, means pay attention, paying and implementing it. Baba says, similarly, actions are totally uprooted by other actions when they are committed by some activating agent other than the self. Other than the self, inverted comma self with small s. So any action Yesterday we did that. Performed from the platform of I am the doer binds you. Good or bad, it binds you. Any action performed from the platform, I am not the doer. I am just an instrument. I am just a madhyam. I am just a conduit, so to speak. That may not be the correct word. But it means Baba is doing through me. Baba is getting is done through me. In other words, you as a limited I are totally separated from action. That way, and if we do it with absolute honesty, I use the term, if you are honestly honest and sincerely sincere in doing such actions, then while the earlier samskaras or impressions are being extinguished, utilized, expended, experienced, balanced out, nullified, because I am doing some actions. They are being, it's like a recharged battery torch and I am putting it on. It is being discharged. The previous samskaras are being discharged and I am not putting the battery or the phone or whatever, the torchlight in the charger again to recharge, because I am not expending that. It is Baba who is doing through me. So there is no further chance of accumulation of samskaras. It's a one-way traffic. You are spending, you are not accumulating. And the proof, I say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I may say anything, you may say anything, yeah, it is Baba. The proof is, are we detached with the results? Are we over anxious or concerned about what other people are thinking about what is happening? If you are not, if you simply say, I am doing my job, I am doing my duty, same thing as karma yoga, karma yoga. I am just doing it because I have to do it. I meaning not the limited I. Baba is getting it done through me, and you forget about the result, be detached. Don't be elated, somebody is clapping, and you know, what is it called, standing ovation. People are standing after this thing. You are not affected. Or people just walk away in between, whatever performance that you are doing. They just walk away. You are unaffected. Because you are not doing it. It is Baba who is doing through us. So again I repeat the last. Similarly, actions are totally uprooted by other actions when they are committed by some activating agent other than the self, other than the limited self, the finite self, the separative self, the self that thinks that I am the doer. When all actions are performed with that spirit of remembering Baba, and Baba really spoon feeds us. You know, he says, before you start any work, think of me and think that Baba is doing it. At the time of the work getting it, always keep remembering, or even if you forget, then it is okay. Baba said that. Baba has said that, you know, that while you are working for me, you be immersed in your work. That's okay. After the work is done, offer the whole thing to me, Baba. You have done it. Yeah. Because why I am saying, even if you don't remember him well while the work is being done, there's another message which says, you know, that all the time if you keep on eating, you are hungry. And you are eating, fine, you satiated your hunger. But all the time if you eat, you know, it could be hazmi, we call it. It could be badhazmi, okay, badhazmi. It is, you feel a sense of indigestion. So sometimes, you know, it's perfectly okay that you invite me in your work, invite me. You think honestly and sincerely, as I say, honestly honest and sincerely sincere you should be, and say, Baba, take charge, Baba, take over, Baba, you do it for me, you do it through me, and do it. And then at the end of the job, just offer it back to Baba. Yes, Rakesh, you had a question. Mike.
So, hello, yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you take Baba's name and do something, and you don't gather fresh sanskaras.
Yes, if you are honestly thinking, feeling and believing that it is Baba
Yeah.
who is doing through you.
But isn't it at the same time your past sanskaras are not getting burnt?
They are getting burned, that's what I said. before you brought chai, before you.
Yeah, so they all get burned, but
They are
the new
getting.
sanskara
What I
doesn't get.
expressed
Yeah.
was, see, I'll explain. First of all, the starting point of everything is the samskara. Samskaras are lodged in the mental body. That is their resort, residential place. They are staying there. But the energy body will not allow it to stay there. It will do some khujli. Come on, come on, come on, use it, spend me, spend me, spend me. So when you spend those samskaras only in thinking, imagining and all that, you have not put them into action. The spending is there, but not so much of spending. When you put them into action, both these now gang up. Mind and the energy body, they are ganging up and they are telling the body, do it, do it, do it, whether it is anything. And then you do it. But if you do that from the platform of the limited, selfish, self-centered, egocentric mind, I, then you again attract fresh samskaras. But if you do it with absolute honesty and sincerely that I am not doer, Baba is the doer, Baba is doing through me, then on one side, this is what is important. On one side, the earlier samskaras are being exhausted. They are being utilized, they are being spent, but no fresh samskaras because the activating agent for the action is other than the self. That's what Baba says. Other than I.
So that means now, like, we are aware of this. Okay, you're taking Baba's name and doing something you're not getting.
Not just taking but feeling.
Yeah, you're feeling. Okay, I know it's not possible doing it 100%. Even 50% you do it, in the next life you'll land up burning most of your sanskara. Like, it'll come down to 50% and then come down to like 10%. So in next life, automatically you'll become a very advanced soul.
But why you want to think about the next life? Why don't you think about Baba
have
when
little
you
more
breathe
fun,
your
na?
last and just pop off to the big pop?
Arey,
POP.
to have little more fun, yeah.
If you want to have still more fun,
Yeah.
right, then you indulge in actions
Huh,
like
that only.
I am the doer.
No,
Like
no,
that.
no, no.
Then
Then
you'll
you-
have more
no,
fun.
no. Then you
Then
will
Baba
reduce
will
in
have
the-
more fun.
No. You are an advanced soul and you're having more fun. So you have like a bonus with it, you know.
Are, but your aim is to become a salik, na?
Ha, so that only, na. That is why I will not to take the name,
See,
na.
basically, yes, what you are saying is correct. The whole scheme of things, the whole game is that the grossness of the samskaras get loosened up. We have done this. Feeble, loosen, not so gross, rarefied, whatever, thinned out, weakened, and then those gross samskaras then convert themselves or transform themselves into subtle samskaras. And that will, and when your prepondering samskaras are not gross but subtle, automatically you venture into what is known as the involutionary journey, the first plane. And then that is how it goes.
That is his aim. That is his aim, to get to become a salik.
Okay, that is the
Getting
way to.
trained.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Naman has a question.
So, as Rakesh was discussing, in this life, my sanskaras get carry over to next life,
Obviously.
and then
Whatever you have accumulated in this life,
And it-
all
it-
your
and-
your actions in this life becomes the mold for your next body.
and not the next life.
It depends.
Sorry.
Not the next life.
See, the point is, we have done this many times. I'll repeat. What you are today is a result of your past residual samskaras. I use the word residual because much of our samskaras we spend in enjoying the acute mental state of heaven, or we suffer acute mental state in hell. So when you are spending over there is only one-way traffic. You don't accumulate. So obviously when you take birth, every birth is an opportunity given to you to pop off and go back to where you came from. Every birth, you see. But unfortunately we end up accumulating more than spending. So try to be with me. So today what you are is your past samskaras. And the moment your past samskaras in the normal course of thing are exhausted, Naman will become Manan. Then everybody will become Manan. We'll do Manan on you. So that means a natural death is when all the samskaras or impressions that we have brought for utilization, for expanding, for experiencing in this body gets over, this body is dropped. But what about those samskaras you have accumulated in this life? They become the mold for your next life. Not they as a whole buffet table. Not they as a whole buffet table. You go up and enjoy. If you're we've done this many times. Prepondering samskaras are good, then you enjoy a state of heaven. And as you are enjoying like a block of ice, I had explained, block of ice, they melting. That means there is only residual. So with that residual, you take another birth. Yeah, the next birth. The next birth. Yeah.
No, not last. There is,
Next
you pick
birth.
up. You pick up.
But the sanskaras are carried over just one birth, not the last multiple births.
In terms of my understanding. See what is happening now, the residual is left. Now this residual belongs to this birth or maybe several last births, we do not know. Personally, and let me again draw a line many times, that this is my interpretation of what I read in Baba's literature. It is not like I have said it and this is it. You understand what I'm saying? So we are all in the same boat of ignorance. We are all swimming in that ignorance, and a little bit here and there we try to exchange thoughts. But this is what I understand from Baba's, not only God Speaks, but also discourses and other books, where Baba says that samskaras are the building blocks of our next incarnation. And if you don't want to have the building, you have to destroy your bricks and mortar and water and cement and everything. And the easiest way to do it, I would say it is easiest, is to remember him when we breathe our last. Because that's when Baba says that you'll come to me, you will experience moksha. But if somebody like Rakesh says, I want to come back and enjoy, then you have to remember not to remember him when you breathe your last. All right. Carry on.
So you understood, no, residual is not last. Consolidated of so many lives. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please take it. Huh? I've never said no. Of course you should. You must. Even this thought, that it is so exciting and I want to come again and again, that also is sanskarically based. That also is based on the samskars, you see. All right. Samya, go ahead.
Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga serve the purpose of being prominent signposts on the path of truth.
They are signposts. They are the indicators. They are the direction. Okay, this is the way you are supposed to go. But Baba has said, in spite of all these yogas that are available, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Baba says that there also the important underlying factor is I am not the doer. If you do everything with I am the doer, as a limited, self-centered, egocentric mind, I am doing, it binds you, but binds you with good karmas. And when see, the name of the game is playing the card of Uno, where all the cards you have to lose. Only when you have no cards, then you are a winner. But if you accumulate, then you are not. So in other words, even good samskaras bind. And for that binding, you have to again keep coming in order to take the benefit of the good samskaras that you have done and in order to balance out the karma. Correct, balancing out. I didn't get you. Balancing, yeah, balancing. But if you don't accumulate by the method which Baba has said, activating agent other than the self, then obviously over a period of time, it may take maybe several lifetimes to gradually thin out the gross samskaras and transform it into subtle samskaras. But as I say, and I keep on harping on that, there is a shortcut given by Baba to us. Why don't we use that shortcut? Straight away, that in that snake and ladder game, there's certain spot where immediately you go all the way up to 99. And then only one tuck, you are out of the game. Unless we want to be in the game. But Baba, I remember I don't know who said it, and it was in Gujarati that Baba said, કે મને તો આવવું પડે છે, પણ તમે લોકો ક્યાં આવ્યા કરો છો? Means I have to come because it is my duty. He is the mischievous chicken. He is the one who started it all. I have to come. I have no choice. But you have a choice. Why do you keep coming over and over again? You have a way out, no? Just remember me in the last and it's over with. It's like that.
Karma yoga, Jnana
To the
yoga,
truth,
Raja yoga, and Bhakti yoga serve the purpose of being prominent signposts on the path of truth, directing the seeker towards the goal of eternal existence.
So they will direct you there. But they will direct you there. Okay, Bhakti yoga, Jnana yoga, whatever. They will direct, this is the pathway. But even when you are treading the path, if there is the thought of I am a great karma yogi, finish. That I has come. You have accumulated samskaras. As Adi Kaka would be saying, I remember him once in our Bombay center. I'm talking many years back, maybe 40 years back. He said, on one side, you are doing very good job, very, very. That is so much of asset. 1 million. He uses the word $1 million dollars of assets. You have made it. And on the other hand, you are tom-tomming, I. So you have accumulated liability of 1.5 million. So ultimately, you are in the negative. So although we are treading the spiritual, not the spiritual path. Spiritual path is totally different. Involutionary journey is totally different. These are only signposts which will guide you. And during the process of walking, if that thought comes that I, means again the whole thing is washed off.
But the hold of life, fed by actions, is so tight on the aspirant that even with the help of these inspiring signposts, he fails to be guided in the right direction. As long as the self is bound by actions, the aspirant or even the pilgrim on the path towards truth is sure to go astray through self-deception.
Self-deception. I can only do, nobody can do, I am the greatest something. Self-deception. There are two thoughts that come to me. One is in 1962 November, we all know, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th November, Baba gave what is known as, very popularly known as the East-West Gathering. Now this is 1962. Baba started, let's say, his Autaric Advent right from, say, 1921-22, when he left Upasdi Maharaj, and Upasdi Maharaj bowed down to him and said, Merwan tu Adi Shakti hai. You are the primal force, you are the avatar, and I salute you, I bow down to you. He started this is my interpretation again, he started his Advent, his Autaric mission. 1962, right from 22 to 62, 40 years. And only 7 years before he dropped his physical body in 1969. He gives a message, two messages, very potent message, very powerful. My dear children and my dear workers. If you find time, read it. Very powerful. In that, my dear workers, he is emphatically saying, and it's a message. I don't want to go through the message, but one message, one line, one sentence which says, that while you are working for me, if you bring yourself in the work, yourself would mean your lower selfish, self-centric, ego, self. When you bring yourself into that, you allow the work to take you away from me. I repeat, that means the same work which we are doing so enthusiastically, Baba work, Baba work, Baba work, Baba work. But the I is there, then that same work will take you away from me. I think it's a very serious and a very powerful one sentence where self-education we need to have. Okay, I am doing so much work, but I am thinking that I am doing it, nobody else can do the way I am doing, nobody else can dance, nobody else can speak, nobody else can act, nobody else can write, whatever. That means that I comes in, and in doing that for Baba, that work is taking you away from Baba. Very, very, I feel it is very important, very important. We all need to, remember that whenever we do any work for Baba, it is Baba is doing. Just forget it, finish it, thank you Baba. If somebody praises, thank you Baba, give it off and finish it off. Yeah. What doesn't
That
happen?
the work doesn't happen if you take.
What doesn't happen? Yeah. Yeah. There is a sentence over there also that if you are doing it in the right way. See what had happened was they were all workers. It is called my dear work. They work. They would have this meeting and that yatra and that patra and that this and everything. Everything is being. Everybody is in the doingness of things, and not in the beingness of being. Oh, that center has done 45 days program. We'll make it 50 days program. Like that. Oh, this is done. I am not again. Please don't, misunderstand. But the spirit behind should be only love for Baba. And that reminds me of another incident. Again, same. Adi Kaka, Adi K. Irani, we all know Adi Senior. He says, and very beautiful, that if you put the horse before the cart, things will run very smoothly. But if you put the cart before the horse, it may appear that things are moving okay and all that, but no, that is not the correct way, sequencing. And then Baba, Adi Senior says, the horse is the love for Baba. And the organization, I did this, I did so many programs, I did this, that is the organization. So if your focus is on doing things, organizing without love, without thinking of love and pleasing Baba, then it is equivalent to putting the cart before the horse, and it has no meaning. Externally in the world, people will applaud you. Wow, so much work they are doing this, they are doing that. But it has no meaning in the eyes of Baba. But if you have, love is the platform. Pleasing Baba is the platform. And from that platform, if you do even small work, minuscule work, that pleases Baba. You see? So we need to be very careful whenever we are involved in working for Baba to remember this. There was one Baba lover who had done a lot of things in his district or place, center. And he obviously, when that ego is there, he would want that Baba should appreciate. And he was standing in the queue for Baba's darshan, and Baba would do this to somebody or tap somebody on the back or put his hand on the head. But when he used to come, Baba would turn away the face like this. He was very upset about the whole thing. Yeah, I am such a great worker. I have brought so many Baba people in the Baba community, and Baba is not even aware of it. He is not even appreciating me. So it happened once, it happened twice, and he was a little disgruntled, not very happy. And as we say, through Mary to Jesus, we all know that. Say if something has to go through Mary. So when anything had to be done, conveyed to Baba's ears, if it's a lady, they would do it through Mera, generally. And if it's a gent, then they would do it through Erach or Bhau or whosoever. So somehow this man approached Erach and said, Baba doesn't seem to be knowing that I am doing all this thing, because I have observed that he's turning away his face, So I feel a little odd about it, So can you just do something about it? You can't just go and tell Baba, Erach was one of the supermen, shrewdest, he would know when to talk, how much to talk, what to talk. So when the opportunity arose, and it was a several days program, Baba Sahwa's program, he tells Baba, okay, there is one gentleman from so-and-so state, and he has done very good work. It seems that you are not paying any attention to him, and he feels about it. And what a superb reply Baba gives. Baba says, you see, when you see a beautiful girl, immediately your face turns that way. You don't have to do anything. It's automatically your face turns to that beauty. In the same way, my face turns on the beauty of the aura that I see, the aura that I see of people, So even if a person is standing in a queue long distance, I see their vibration, their aura, whatever, and I automatically get attracted to them just the way as you get attracted to ladies. So you got the answer. So in other words, again, the learning in my interpretation would be that if you are doing for Baba's work, just do it and don't seek appreciation. Because the very moment you seek appreciation or a reward, it's gone, it is lost. That is why Baba says, Baba's one of the aspects of Baba is love. And we've done this many, many times. Love is that which gives and does not expect anything in return. Disinterested love, where I have no interest, personal interest, what am I going to get out of it? What is my payback? What am I going to get in return? That is not love. That is something else other than love. So that is one is love. The second one important is selfless service. What is selfless service? You can write volumes, but one sentence would be selfless service is that service in which the person who is serving does not even get a thought that he is serving. It should be so natural, spontaneous, we call it surge, that he's like how I am breathing. I don't even know that I am breathing, unless my nose is stuck up or I am climbing some stairs. So in the same way, the service that you give to others should be so natural and spontaneous that you should not even get a thought that you are actually serving somebody. Then that is real selfless service. So coming back to the reading, I don't know what made me say that one. about doing Baba's work. Baba says, even though you do this karma yoga, dhyan yoga, raj yoga, this thing, he fails to be guided in the right direction in spite of his doing it, because that ego is there. So he's apparently traveling but not traveling, because he's accumulating fresh heavy load of good samskaras. Go ahead.
Throughout all ages, sadhus and seekers, sages and saints, munis and monks, tapasvis and sannyasis, yogis, sufis and talibs have struggled during their lifetimes, undergoing untold hardships in their efforts to extricate themselves from the maze of actions and to realize the eternal existence by overcoming life.
So all these munis, yogis, mahatmas, they are struggling to come to this what is known as eternal life. And the next paragraph is very important. Go ahead.
They fail in their attempts because the more they struggle with their selves,
The more they struggle with their selves, inverted commas, small s. That means anything that you do on the platform of the small s, I am the doer, they are sure to fail. Read the sentence again. They fail.
they fail in their attempts because the more they struggle with their selves, the firmer the selves become gripped by life through actions intensified by austerities and penances, by seclusions and pilgrimages, by meditation and concentration, by assertive utterances and silent contemplation, by intense activity and inactivity, by silence and verbosity, by japas and tapas, and by all types of yogas and chillas.
So all these actions that you do actually intensifies the self and gives you more of bondage. And instead of extricating themselves out of that quagmire, you call it quagmire, daldal, kichal we call it, quagmire, like you go in and in. The more you struggle, the deeper you get into trouble. You see? And that is why you try to, how beautifully Baba says, and there are people who do all these things, so many things. He's saying, intensive, the firmer the selves become gripped by life. Yesterday we did life and existence. By life means ephemeral, phenomenal, transient, impermanent, not real. Through actions intensified by austerities and penances, seclusions and pilgrimages, meditation and concentration, assertive utterances and silent contemplation, intense activity and inactivity, by silence and verbosity, by japas and tapas, and all types of yogas and chillas. All these things, according to Baba, take you deeper and deeper. Because why? Why? Nothing wrong with them. They are very good. But why you go deeper and deeper into the quagmire is because I am doing it. And that is why once you are in a quagmire, I am sure we all understand. Daldal we call it, mud and whatever.
Slush.
No slush, but not slush like this much slush, you can say. The more you struggle, I'm going to do this, now I'm going to do that, now I'm going to do meditation, concentration, this, that, you go inside. The best part is that there are innumerable so-called masters, so-called, small m, who are themselves in Dandal and they become masters and they want to help others to come out of the Daldal. The only people who can help to some extent are those which are called Wali and Pir. That means they are on the 5th plane and on the 6th plane. But they can only help to pull you out till the spot where they are stuck in. They cannot throw you out of the Daldal. And the only persons who can lend a genuinely helping hand, come on, catch my hand and I will pull you out, are those who are on firm ground. Not in Daldal. They are on firm ground and they are the perfect masters and the avatar. There are perfect ones also, Salik, who can to some extent help one person become a Salik. So in other words, real help only comes after realization. If you want to help somebody, you can only help somebody after you are God realized. Otherwise it is all playing in that quagmire, daldal or whatever you call it, slush. So that is what Baba is saying, that in spite of doing all this, you are only going inside.
Emancipation from the grip of life and freedom from the labyrinths of
Labyrinth is the maze, yeah.
of
it.
actions are made possible for all and attained by a few when a perfect master, Sadguru or Kutub is approached and his grace and guidance are invoked.
So they are the only ones who can really, really help. You see, and that too they should be living perfect masters. We have done this earlier, that the avatar is the eternal living perfect master. He is always connected with creation and he is always available to anybody, not just humanity, but any creature. You see, but the perfect masters, once they have dropped their physical body, that means once they complete journey number 4, we have done this earlier, they go and lodge themselves in a resort, which is a very beautiful resort called State 2B. We have done that. State A, State 2, State 1, State 2, there is A, B and C, we have done that. C is their functioning office and B is their resort. They will go and enjoy infinite knowledge, infinite power and infinite bliss. They are Nirgun, Nirakar. They have nothing to do with creation. They are not connected with creation, consciousness, right? And that is why Baba says that praying to Allah or praying to Ahura Mazda, praying to Yazdan, praying to God, you can pray, nothing wrong. But the answers are given by the perfect masters, the Sadgurus, the Kutub, who are functioning from state 2C, which is equivalent to the 10th state in the 10 states of God chart. Am I clear? Very clear. Okay. So,
Grace
what
and
Baba is saying, is that the only way out
emancipation.
is to, for emancipation, for liberation, for being free from all this, is to approach a perfect master, a living perfect master, or the avatar, who's the eternal living perfect master, and beseech his guidance and his help, and follow his orders, and follow and obey his orders. That is the only safest, surest, quickest way to achieve the goal.
The perfect master's invariable counsel is complete surrender to him. Those few who do surrender their all, mind, body, possessions, so that with their complete surrender, they also surrender consciously their own selves to the perfect Master,
The lower self. Huh?
still have their very being left conscious to commit actions which are now activated only by the dictates of the Master.
That means you are surrendering your entire being. And I use this gesture, surrender. Surrendering means under their legs. So they can kick us and do whatever they want. That is surrendering, surrender. Sir means head. So when you put your head under the feet of the Master, then let him do whatever. So when you consciously do that, and again if we are honestly honest and sincerely sincere, then what Baba says is, when they put their very being consciously to commit actions which are now activated only by the dictates of the Master. That means you are not doing anything of your own on your own accord. You are simply following the dictate of the Master. And one living example of this we get to know from Bauji's life. You know, Bauji was an intellectual. He was an intellectual person. Many of the Mandli people were, you know. And Baba would give him such tasks which he would use his intellect and try to do it better, and Baba would constantly, you know, hammer him and say, why do you use your mind? Why are you using your brain? You just do what I am telling you to do. So so here again, that is what he's saying. Okay, you only do what the masters ask you to do.
Dictates of the Master.
Dictates of the Master.
Such actions after the surrender of one's self are no longer one's own
So
actions.
once we have surrendered, and then any action that takes place, Baba says, such actions after the surrender of one's self, S small, are no longer one's own action. They are no longer. You are doing it, Baba is getting it done through you, Baba is doing it through you, or you are doing it at the behest of your Master.
Therefore, these actions are capable of uprooting all other actions which feed and sustain life. Life then becomes gradually lifeless and eventually succumbs by the grace of the perfect Master to its final death.
Elsewhere, Baba had said, the circle members, you know, they have got certain impressions, samskaras, where they do not. Now, somebody may ask whether Mandli is a circle member. I would say, I don't know, maybe not. Because Baba did refer to circle members and Baba does refer to Mandli also. They may be. So, the only thing is, because the circle members are in Baba's circle, and the avatar has 10 concentric circles, we all know that I don't think we did the circle here. Anyway, so there they are only spending. There is no further binding or bondage to the circle members. So in other words, they are now on their path to either liberation or to God realization, that way. So that is why those few who do surrender their all, mind, body, possession, so that with their complete surrender, they also surrender consciously. Yeah, okay, sir, sorry. Such actions after the surrender of one's self are no longer their own actions. Therefore, these actions are capable of uprooting all other actions. We had done earlier a thorn to uproot a thorn, a poison to counter the poison. In the same way, such actions to counter or uproot the earlier actions of which samskaras are already embedded in our mind. Okay. Life
Which once debarred the persevering
persevering.
aspirant from realizing perpetual existence can now no longer work its own deception.
That means unless and until you surrender, your life, it's a deceptive life. Deceptive means we are doing something in the hope, in the understanding that we are undoing our samskaras, but actually we are binding more and more samskaras. So that is why Baba says, life which once debarred the persevering aspirant from realizing perpetual existence can now no longer work its own deception. Now life will not work its own deception.
I have emphasized in the past, I tell you now, and I shall age after age forevermore repeat that you shed your cloak of life and realize existence which is eternally yours.
Cloak of life, yesterday we did existence and life. The cloak is like a cloth. You discard that and enjoy the existence that you eternally are.
To realize this truth of unchangeable, indivisible, all pervading existence, the simplest way is to surrender to me completely. So completely that you are not even conscious of your surrender, conscious only to obey me and to act as and when I order you.
That is the real surrender. Only to act as and when I order you. There is of course, that has to do with renunciation, but it could as well be applied to surrender. Tarke dunya, tarke ukba, tarke maula, tarke tar. Tarke dunya means renounce this world. Tarke ukba, renounce the other world. Tarke maula means renounce your religion. Tarke tar, renounce the very thought that you have renounced. Tarke tar.
If you seek to live perpetually, then crave for the death of your deceptive self at the hands of complete surrender to me. This yoga is the essence of all yogas in one.
When Baba was asked by somebody, which is the greatest yoga, and Baba said the best yoga is you go and I come. Yoga. When the limited self, I, goes and I come, then that is the highest yoga, the best yoga.
The four journeys. God is infinite and his shadow is also infinite.
This is all in supplement number 36. Huh? The four journeys we did it, no? No? I don't never.
The chart we did.
Okay.
We did.
But never mind. No, we did that in the chart. This
We
is
did
a
the
part of
chart.
the supplement. So
This
we'll
is the-
continue. We'll continue.
This is the text. The shadow of God is the infinite space that accommodates the infinite gross sphere, which, with its occurrences of millions of universes within and without the range of men's knowledge, is the creation that issued from the point of finiteness in the infinite existence that is God.
Okay. We did this yesterday, but I can repeat. God is infinite and his shadow is also infinite. We have done this yesterday. God is infinite in its oneness. The shadow is infinite in its multiplicity or in its manyness. The shadow of God is the infinite space that accommodates the infinite gross sphere, which, with its occurrences of millions of universes within and without the range of man's knowledge, is the creation that issued from the point of finiteness in the infinite existence that is God. We had done this earlier, that God is everything, capital E, and everything cannot be everything unless it also has nothing in it. Initially we did all that. We also did that except for the infinity of the infinitude of God, in the beyond state we are talking, state 1, all that is in that everything is latent, not manifest, supta. And all that is latent is of the nothing. With the the shock, the urge, the lahar, who am I, the hooky, the whim, call whatever we want to call it, what happened, there was a shaking, and automatically and spontaneously, the second aspect of God, which is God in the beyond state, God created. I don't want to go deeper into that. We have done this earlier. And then from a very finite point, which is called the creation point or the Om point, what came out, what gushed out, what oozed out is the nothingness of the nothing. Now this nothing is associated or co-joined with the everything, and therefore this nothingness of the nothing is also infinite. And that is why you can, today science has not even, there are so many universes and stars and planets and galaxies where the light You can imagine, I can't imagine. Light years, we say light years. Some, I don't remember how many, if somebody science student will say how many lakhs of miles it travels in 1 second. And that light has not yet reached us. So you can imagine the vastness of the space where and people are now, people in the sense scientists are now able to see that the universes after universes are being born. Baba uses the word, they keep on expanding ad infinitum. That is the word used by Baba. It is expanding ad infinitum. And expanding and accommodated in what? Accommodated in space. So there is no shortage of space in space. We have got shortage of space everywhere. And it is going on expanding. And why is the space so infinite? Is because it is the shadow of the infinite God. So that is what Baba is saying. God is infinite. This we did.
Momo, this page 139 has got the diagram.
Huh?
Page 139.
About what?
4 journeys.
No, but that we are not for, I understand. Okay, there's a diagram on page
39.
139. If you want to keep it 139 page, the 4 journeys. But we did the diagram actually.
Yeah, but then this
But
is
I
the
don't
text.
think we
but
did.
it would be very nice if you
Okay, we'll do that.
correlate the
Yeah,
diagram.
we'll correlate it. Page number 1, thank you.
139.
Soumya, thanks. And this is there, I think this was added in the second edition of God's Peace. It is not there in the first primary edition. And this has been taken from the book called Everything and the Nothing. So it has come from there, yeah.
In these millions of universes are many systems with planets. Some are in gaseous states. You can see?
Sorry?
4 journeys.
There's a chart, there's a page number.
139.
Okay.
You can juxtapose it, you know.
No need to just.
When
He's not showing the.
No, he can.
No, but then.
Check. He can show it.
Okay, do it.
That will be nice. Because down there is gaseous, here you can see.
No, if that is the logic, then all the time we could have shown the printed for those who are not having the book. But never mind. Yeah, go ahead. If you can do it, fine.
Chart 6.
Page number is 274, 4 journeys. Okay.
The text is
Thank
in
you,
page
Naman.
2. Thank you. Some are in gaseous states, some in states of solidification, some of stone and metal, some which also have vegetation, some have also developed life forms such as worms, some also fish, some also birds, some also animals, and a few also have human beings.
So you can imagine the science has not yet,
Planets.
as Baba said, not
universes.
even at the fringe of the gross universe. Forget about the spiritual aspect and the inner planes and all that.
Baba says many systems and planets. exist.
Yeah.
18,000
See,
where life exists.
Mike, okay. See, at one place I have read that there are 18,000 planets where human beings exist. The word is human being. And elsewhere, I don't know where to give weightage to, but anyway, my job is to say, and your job is to research what is happening. Baba said there are 3 planets where human beings exist. That's where I read somewhere else. One of them is Earth, and there are 2 more planets. And then the explanation that is given is, in one planet, they have 100% intellect. They are very intellectual, but they have no heart, they have no feeling, they have no love, they have no emotion. That way. And the second one is 75% intellect and 25% the other aspect, the heart. And Earth is the only one where it is 50-50. So that I have read, but then elsewhere again it is mentioned that there are, so it doesn't really make a difference. Sorry, 1 minute. It doesn't make a difference for a simple reason that now we must have traveled all over and come to Earth, because Earth is the only planet which is the most spiritual planet. Earth is the only planet where perfect masters, where man can become God, that is man God or perfect masters. Earth is the only planet where the Avtaran, the advent of God, takes place. Earth is the only planet where you find the involutionary journey, which is the planes of consciousness, and Earth is the only planet from where you become God realized. And one more, if you want to add, Earth is the only planet where the angels and archangels take birth only once and then they realize God. We have done angels and archangels before. So that is the importance of Earth, our planet. So whatever, whether they are 18,000 or 18 lakhs, it doesn't really matter. They are just figures to us. They are just numbers to us. The fact of the matter is, number one, that we are born on Earth. Number two, we are born during the period of the Avtaric, ministry. Yeah, it's a Avtaric advent is there. We are born and we have got the name of Meher Baba as the most recent advent of God in human form. That is the importance, and beyond that, everything is just information. That is all information. This is there, that is there, okay. But now we have to focus all our energies into remembering Him, making Him a part of our moment-to-moment living, offering everything to Him, and everything doesn't mean the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. You just offer everything to Him. Even if I have done something wrong, offer it to Him. Even if I have done something great, offer it to Him. And remember to remember Him when we breathe our last. And then the whole game is over with. So that is where we have to be focused on. And okay, if there are 18,000, fine. How does it really matter except by way of information? Chalo.
Thus it is that throughout the myriads of universes, there are planets on which the 7 kingdoms of evolution are manifested, and the evolution of consciousness and forms is completed. But only on the planet Earth do human beings reincarnate and begin the involutionary path to self-realization. Earth is the center of this infinite gross sphere of millions of universes, inasmuch as it is the point to which all human conscious souls must migrate in order to begin the involutionary path.
So wherever the human conscious soul are born, whichever planet, whether they are 3 or 18,000, ultimately they have to migrate on Earth. I don't know if they have some system of visa or passport or something, but irrespective of whether we have already migrated here, we should be happy and we should consider ourselves as very fortunate. Earth, the point to which all human conscious soul must migrate in order to begin the involutionary path, which is the planes of consciousness, is only available on Earth.
This involutionary path has 7 stations, and arrival at the 7th station completes the first journey to God.
So that means there are 4 journeys. First journey completes or ends when you achieve God realization. Right? That is the end of the first journey. There are 4 journeys, yes. No, you will end up in the 3rd journey. Salik, you want to be. Salik. If you want to be a perfect master, then you have to take the 4th journey also. Alright, go ahead.
Although the completion of this journey is the goal of all human souls, only a very few at any given moment embark upon it. The arrival at the end of this journey is the drowning of individuality in the ocean of infinite consciousness, and the journey's completion is the soul's absorption in the state of I am God with full consciousness, and as God, it experiences infinite power, knowledge, and bliss.
That means we have done this earlier. The first journey ends in Fanafila or in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. We have done it. The first step is Fana and then the Fanafila. The first step is Nirvan and the second is Nirvikalpa. So when you achieve this, you become you are absorbed. Here the word used is, you are absorbed in God. That means you have now passed away in God. That means your consciousness is only I am God. That means you experience infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite bliss, but do not experience the three worlds, the mental, subtle and the gross world, and you have got nothing to do with that, and they are called as Mazube Kamil or Brahmi Bhut. That is the end of the first divine journey, period. Now very few, most people when they achieve this Phanafila or Nirvikalpa, they drop their body because the whole purpose of the entire, you can say, travail, journey is ended. Now there is no further purpose of keeping the body, but some keep their bodies and then they travel, they want to go further. So they go in what is known as the ninth state of God, which is the junction, divine junction, which is also called the Turiya Avastha, where these Brahmi Bhuts or these Mazubs, Mazube Kamil, Mazub means like must, but they are must of the seven plane. they switch between, they get some consciousness of the three worlds and then they are again into Mazubiyat. Sometimes in Salukiyat, sometimes in Mazubiyat. That means they are in that, sometimes Salik Mazub or sometimes Mazub Salik. So that is the thing. So they are known as the Paramhamsa. And then if you are totally into Salik, Salik means the one who has drunk the wine of God and who are poised, who are balanced, who are not damadol as we call it, But whereas the Mazubs are not conscious of the creation, Saliks are conscious of the creation, and then that Salik is known as the Jivan Mukta. And out of these Saliks and Paramhamsa, only 5 venture into the third journey, which is known as the Kutubiyat. They become perfect masters or Kutubs or Sadgurus. That is the entering into the Kutubiyat is the third journey. I am just concising it so that when she reads it will be easy for you to understand. And then when the Kutub or the perfect master or a Sadguru drops his physical form, that is the end of the fourth journey, and goes and resides in state to be eternally enjoying the divine individuality. That is the final I am God state, Aham Brahmasmi state, that is the final. Now when Soumya reads it, it may be easy for you to grasp. So there is the Phanafila, passing away in God. That is the first thing, passing away in God. Then abiding in God. And then when you become a Kutub or a perfect
Living
master,
God's life.
you are living God's life. So this is what Baba has said. So go ahead, Soumya.
Out of all the souls who complete the first journey, a very few enter the second journey.
So
This-
entering the second journey is this Turiya Avastha or the divine junction. Okay, Soumya wants me to say that at any given point in time, there are 56 God-realized souls available to creation, and they are called perfect ones. Out of these 56, there are 5 who are called perfect masters or Kutub or Sadguru, only 5 at any given point in time, and they are the perfect masters or Kutub or Sadgurus. And when the avatar comes, then that 56 figure becomes 57. Am I right? Thank you.
This journey has no stations. It is an instantaneous journey, the journey of infinite consciousness being shaken from its absorption in I am God to abiding in God as God.
So now this Mazub who is enjoying infinite knowledge, power and bliss, nothing to do with creation. I care damn, I don't care what is happening to creation. Now he is being shaken up and he is getting the consciousness of the mental world, the subtle world and the gross world, simultaneously retaining the consciousness of I am God state, infinite knowledge, power and bliss. But he has no duties to perform. You see, so but before he actually becomes a Salik, he passes through this intermediary stage of what is known as the divine junction or the Turiya Avastha. Go ahead.
Out of all the souls who complete the first journey, A very few enter the second journey. This journey has no stations. I finished this.
It is an instantaneous.
It is an instantaneous journey, the journey of infinite consciousness being shaken from its
The
absorption
infinite consciousness is now being shaken. Get up, uto, kaam karo. Work.
in I am God to abiding in God as God. In this state, individuality is regained, but individuality is now infinite, and this infinity includes gross consciousness, and so, as man and God, it experiences infinite power, knowledge, and bliss in the midst of most finiteness. The unlimited soul knows its unlimitedness in the midst of limitation.
So, although this knowledge or consciousness of duality comes, it does not in any way hampers his consciousness of I am God state, that is infinite, that is unlimited, it keeps. And he also gets back the consciousness of duality, and he knows that this is just a shadow. It has no real meaning towards it, So he knows it. So those people, but they have no duty, and that is why they are known as Salik. And that's why yesterday we were doing that. Now the finite, separative, egocentric I, which is the ego. Ego is never annihilated. I keep repeating this. This ego in the Fanafila state, not in Salukyat, in the very first state of I am God state, is converted into the divine ego or the infinite ego or the unlimited ego. Ego remains. I remains. The small I transforms or transmutes itself into the I, capital I, and that is why this experience of the I am God state is only individual to that individual drop soul and not to the entire ocean. We did that. We are repeating a lot, but anyway.
The third journey is undertaken only by those who have accomplished the second journey and whose lot it is to bear the burden of the exercise of infinite power, knowledge, and bliss, and so live God's life, both as man and God simultaneously.
So originally the first step was absorbed in God or passing away in God, mazub. The second was abiding in God, that is the salik. And now this is living God's life on earth is the perfect master or a Sadguru. That is the entry to the third journey, right?
There are only 5 such masters living on earth at any given moment, and they control the movement of the universes and the affairs of the worlds of men. Only when one of these 5 perfect masters drops his body can one of those who are abiding in God as God move onwards and complete the third journey to fill the vacant office.
So there also the management is very perfect. The 5 perfect masters are there, and the saliks are all shortlisted. They are standing in the queue. So only difference is they are not anxious कि अभी वो कभी मरेगा कि मेरे को post मिलेगा. Like how we have it in management here, if the boss dies, I can become the boss. It's not like that.
It's
Because in a
one-
sense they are all dead. They are all dead to the world. And being dead to the world, they are actually really alive, alive to God. So what Baba says is, there are always 5 perfect masters at any given point in time. And when one perfect master drops his body, that means he takes the 4th journey. That is the 4th journey. The one who are shortlisted or they are salik, those who are abiding in God, now becomes living a God's life on earth. Clear?
It is the duty.
Salik is asking.
People on the 5th plane, 6th plane.
6th plane is in duality. Don't
Oh,
talk
this is
don't
different.
talk
Okay,
duality
okay,
now.
okay.
We are talking 7th plane.
Yeah,
We are now talking reality.
Okay.
6th plane, 5th plane, but child's play.
Seventh, after all this
वो सब
game,
खत्म हो गया,
that
correct.
is why the chart helps
This,
you.
this is everything is here is happening in seventh plane.
Seventh.
Yeah, that is why these four journeys are also known as the divine journeys.
if you
Only
look at the
after
chart-
becoming one with
chart
God,
helps.
you still have to journey if you are destined to journey. Right? So the first journey is when you become God realized and you say, I am God. Infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite bliss. No experience of the world. I'm just enjoying my infinite knowledge, power and bliss. No duties, nothing. The second journey is one from amongst them is caught hold by the neck and shaken up. You know, that absorption. Kya ho gaya? You know, and then it's, come on, wake up. So then abiding in God is that salik. And now from one amongst the salik will become
Perfect. Pa.
living God's
Clear the
life
jour-
on earth.
Because you see, these four journeys of God. So
Ah,
after
yeah.
you become seventh
After-
plane ke baad
He
all
understood,
this
Baba, he understood.
Kamal.
He's already a salik. He's just asking questions. Chalo, okay. Yeah, salik might end up. But
Only
I don't
Salik.
know. But I don't know what is your position in the waiting list, in the waiting room. Whether you are the first or piche, I don't know. All
The
right.
ratio is 1:11. There's a management technique, no?
What
You
is the
have
man-
11 candidates and उसमें से एक. So Baba has already established once upon a time.
All right.
It is the duty of these five perfect masters to precipitate the advent of the Ancient One, Avatar, and to hand over to him the charge of his own creation.
So Baba says that I never come of my own accord. Khushi. No. He also doesn't like to work. It's he has to be pulled down. He has to be besieged. He has to be, please come. We can't handle this. Please come and take charge of your own creation. So Baba says, these five perfect masters, at the end of, we have done the age and all that, cycle and age. At the end of the 11th age, he is besieged. And that age differs from 700 years to 1400 years, depending upon the size of the age. If the size of the age is 65 per age, then within 700 years he has to be called back. Like how Baba says, now I will come after 700 years. If the size of the age is 125 years, then he comes after, these are approximation, 1400 years. Then he comes after 1400 years. So he has to be, what Baba is trying to say is that the existing five perfect masters of the time who are at the end of that age, 11th age, Baba says, he is besieged and he comes down.
That is the game.
That is the game which he has, that the Leela, God's Leela. Why? I have never been able to answer anybody's why because I don't know why. I don't know why this has been staged in such a way. Yeah, maybe. But who should be wanting? Baba is the one who has created all this, Mischief. Yeah. That's why he says no. In the nothing and the everything, when you read that chapter of mischievous chicken, he even drew that mischievous chicken. There's a T-shirt and gave it to Kumar, isn't it?
No, Kishan Singh.
Kishan Singh. I'm sorry, Kishan Singh. Yeah, there's a nice. He just drew and they said, "This is me. I am this mischievous chicken." All right.
All those who live God's life on earth and all those who abide in God as God on earth, when they drop their bodies, also shed forever their subtle and mental vehicles and pass away utterly as God, retaining infinite individuality and experiencing infinite power, knowledge, and bliss. This is the fourth journey.
So fourth journey is when these perfect masters drop their physical bodies, and that is the end of the fourth journey. I'll read the last paragraph again. All those who live God's life on earth and all those who abide in God as God on earth, when they drop their bodies, also shed forever their subtle and mental vehicles. When we drop our bodies, it is only the gross body which is dropped. The subtle and the mental bodies continue their onward journey in the state of heaven and hell. But when they drop their bodies, everything is over with, the entire show is over, and they drop even there and pass away utterly as God, retaining infinite individuality. Individuality remains, but changes from finite, limited, separative, self-centric, ego mind, that is broken, and this is infinite individuality, and experiencing infinite power, infinite knowledge, and infinite bliss. This is the fourth journey.
In reality, these.
I have a question.
Please.
Yes, baby.
After the fourth journey, there is no they don't, like for example, a lot of people say the coming of Sai Baba and all that. So the perfect master once,
Why perfect masters? No God realized soul ever reincarnates.
ever.
Because it is an impossibility for them to reincarnate. If somebody is claiming to be the reincarnation of the past perfect master, be it Sai Baba, Upasthi Maharaj, Narayan Maharaj, or whosoever, Kabir, or Samshat Tabriz,
Yeah.
Maulana Rumi, whatever, whosoever. It is an import because that journey is over. If they keep reincarnating, then when will we progress? We have to move forward. No?
But then how?
Except for,
Yeah.
the only exception is the avatar,
Okay.
who keeps coming. That is, we don't call it reincarnation, we call it the advent.
Yeah.
Because reincarnation means you are supposed to go through the evolutionary journey. All these perfect masters, nobody is born as a perfect master. He is born as an ordinary human being, and by ordinary human being, he may be an advanced soul. He may be on the second plane, third plane, fourth plane, fifth plane, not in the sixth plane, because a sixth planer at the time of dropping the body automatically realizes God.
Okay.
So they all have to journey and then become perfect. Journey and go through this Mazubiyat, Salukiyat, Kutubiyat.
Right.
You see? But the avatar is not a reincarnation. Avatar is the advent. He straight away comes, but even though he comes straight away, there's a veil put upon him. And that veil helps in not imbalancing the grandeur and the power and the light of the avatar from the world. So he is brought with a veil, and at the appointed time, the veil is lifted by one of the five perfect masters. In Baba's time, it was Hazrat Babajan who did that job of lifting the veil.
Okay.
So, sorry, I'm re-emphasizing, perfect masters never reincarnate. Forget perfect, even Mazubs don't, even Saliks don't.
Yeah.
Even the person who is on the sixth plane and when he gets God realization, he does not. Because the whole game is over. There's no point of him coming again.
However, these perfect masters do plan when the next advent would be.
Not these perfect
No,
masters.
no, no. I mean to
The
say.
perfect masters of the time of the 11th age.
Okay.
We have done the ages.
Right,
Huh.
right. So that again is how are they chosen? Like how were these five chosen for Meher Baba, or how are those
It is
five
not
chosen?
chosen by, it's a ongoing, it's an advancing stream
Right.
of life, as they say, It is at the 11th age, whosoever becomes the perfect master, the five of them, it is their job to beseech and call the avatar to summon, please come and take charge. They are totally different. They are not the same. Obviously, they cannot be the same one.
Right,
So
right.
They
they,
may have
So-
the characteristics which are
Character-
similar to the earlier five
no,
perfect
no,
masters.
no,
They
no,
may.
no. But don't mistake. That is, Baba is talking about the circle members of the avatar, where Baba said, Eraj, you are my Peter. I don't know. They say, Baba told Eraj, you are my Peter, or Bauji, you are my John.
Then
So
how
it is
did
not the same Peter or John who is coming.
Yeah.
Because the Peter who was there at the time of Christ has already realized.
Right.
What Soumya said, they have the same office to
Okay,
hold.
okay.
They have the same characteristic features
Right.
in terms of their temperament, in terms of so many things, but not the same soul. Because they have already, because in the, you talked about that in
Also
the
this-
Sadguru. No, I have not read in Sadguru that they have. Sadguru has only one circle of 10, right? Whereas the
10 concentric.
the avatar has 10 concentric circles, and then in the first circle they have two what is known as appendages, which are the women people, women in the circle.
No, I also was thinking if one is man God, for example, and if the ancient one who's God man, aren't they actually the same in
Same.
terms of.
In terms of
Yes.
infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite bliss, everybody who has realized God are the same. The
Right.
infinity cannot have gradations. Infinity is infinity.
Right.
What has gradation is the authority and the power to use what I have achieved.
And that is also in the realm of illusion
It
only.
is only in the realm, all this is realm of illusion.
It's like general manager marketing, general manager sales, general manager HR.
It is only
It's a spiritual
General
hierarchy,
managers,
correct.
They have
Yes, yes.
specific.
It is only, they have certain duties to perform.
And you said about this chart, Baba had said that, he has, when he went to Assisi, that cave, he drew the chart for the next 2000 years. So it's all done. It's all
If
worked
you are
out.
talking about the planning, that's what
Plan,
Baba
that's what
said.
she used
the
the word
plan.
planning.
The plan is already set. My understanding is that the drawing out of the plan of the next, say, a few hundred years or 1,000 years, Baba said 2,000 years when he went to that and sat in the cave of Saint Francis.
Where is the plan?
Sorry,
Where is that plan?
I'll show you later on. So there is a plan. There is that plan, as we say on the drawing
Perfect
board.
masters do it.
And the perfect masters are, so to speak, executors
Of that
plan. So they follow the plan. They have certain liberties and jurisdiction to go a little bit here and there. But normally that the sum and substance, the main key features of the plan remains the same. But they have certain discretion. Obviously, being perfect masters, they have discretion to do something on their own. But Baba says generally they follow what is already written. All right, anybody else? Mike.
Plan is complete.
Mike.
Everything is done.
He just said that the plan is complete over there, no? Not that he made it over there.
When somebody asks Baba about the divine plan, he is a super Maha-Ustad, So he said, the divine plan is that there is no plan. Now, whatever you want to make out of it, you make it. What is it? So, yeah, it doesn't matter. Mike.
But he also said the only plan is to make everyone realize that there is no plan.
Correct.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No. Even there. Ultimately, it means the same thing. The whole of this creation, Srishti, is nothing but a divine incubator. You don't understand what is incubator. In which the consciousness incubates and becomes perfect. Everything in this creation has only one aim, one purpose, to make us realize that we ourselves are the creator of this creation. That means, in other words, to become one with God. That is the only purpose. Otherwise, all other happenings, it has no importance whatsoever. All right. Okay, go ahead.
In reality, these 4 journeys are never journeyed.
Now see this. After doing all this, he says, in reality, these 4 journeys are never journeyed.
For God has nowhere to journey.
God has nowhere to journey.
He is without beginning and without end, and everything which has the appearance of being appeared from that
Capital T.
which has no beginning and passes back into that which has no ending.
And that is why we say, that you return to the same spot from where you exit. You come back to the same, it's a big circle, like 360 degrees, but with a world of difference. And what is that difference? When you came out from the creation point as whatever, gases, stone, metals, etc., we had no or very, very rudimentary, Baba calls it most finite consciousness. And when you return to that point, you have full consciousness of the I am God state. Point is the same, you just take a full circle and reach there. And you never go back to the beyond state of God, which is state 1. You start the journey from the beyond state of God, which is state 2A, we have done this, and you go to state 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is God realization, Mazube Kamil. If you don't want to continue with the journey, you go back and achieve
2B.
God realization. That is 2B. So in other words, the journey is from 2A, if you read the chart and see the chart, from state 2A to state to be. From infinite unconsciousness or infinite ignorance, so to speak, infinite ignorance, which is the state of 2A, to infinite knowledge, which is the state of 2B in the 10 states of God. And by going from 2A to 2B, you go via 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
When Hazrat Babajan had kissed Meher Baba, he also went into the Mazubiyat Kabil stage.
Basically, that I would not call it a Mazubiyat state. I would not call it, because the Mazubiyat, yeah, in a sense, yes, because he has lost his bodily consciousness.
Yeah.
But Mazubiyat state basically implies a man becoming God, absorbed, yeah. So when the veil was lifted, he experienced the I am God state. He already had that. See that there's a difference. There you have to struggle and go. Here only the lid is to be opened up and you realize. And then obviously the so-called coming down state was so much of suffering that he had to bang his head on the window panes, on the floor, on the wall, and he used to bleed all the time. So that is that suffering of banging all the time, that reduced the suffering of coming back to the gross consciousness.
That kept him creation conscious.
Why don't you speak inside the mic, yeah? You must be. Salik is saying, come on. Obey him.
No, that
Bol
kept
na.
him conscious with creation.
Okay.
That banging.
Okay. I think
Now we are back to page 190.
that is part 10, the
Yeah.
conclusion.
Nevertheless, all that is said here and explained about God to appease the intellectual convulsions of the mind of man still lacks many more words and further explanations, because the truth is that the reality must be realized and the divinity of God must be attained and lived.
So what Baba says is, there is so much more to tell, but I have given this what for? To appease. Appease means to satisfy. Like children are shouting, making all mischief. So to appease, we give a lollipop. Okay, now keep sucking and don't shout, don't make a noise, don't disturb me. To appease the intellectual convulsions of the mind of man. We want to know, because Baba says it is not something that is to be known, it is not something to be understood, it is something to be experienced and lived. So Baba says, to appease the intellectual convulsions of the mind of man still lacks, in spite of giving so much, still lacks many more words and further explanations, because the truth, capital T-R-U-T-H, all capital, is that the reality must be realized and the divinity of God must be attained and lived.
To understand the infinite eternal reality is not the goal of individualized beings in the illusion of creation, because their reality can never be understood. It is to be realized by conscious experience.
The reality cannot be understood, because all understanding is through the limited mind. And when you say I understand, which means it has come into I understand. Limited mind. Mind is limited. Yesterday we did that. God is unlimited. With a yantra, with a mechanism, with some instrument which is limited, how do you measure the unlimited? And that is why Baba says that mind wants to know that which is beyond mind. For mind to know that which is beyond mind, mind must go, extinguish itself, annihilate itself. Manonash we call it. Only then you can penetrate into the truth. So Baba says can never be understood, it is to be realized. Truth is to be realized, God is to be realized through conscious experience. We do realize God every single day when we go into the sound sleep state, but there is no consciousness there. If we achieve the sound sleep state consciously, without losing consciousness, then that is God realization.
Therefore, the goal is to realize the reality and attain the I am God state in human form.
So here ends the part 10. I think we don't have, we have only 1 minute more to go. We have only 1 minute more to go. We'll continue with this. This chart we have not done. This creation I don't think we have done.
No.
So we'll do it now. We'll do it to appease the conversion of the mind of man. We'll do it next time.
Intellectual convention.
All right. Any questions? Any comments? Anything to say? No? Okay. So yes, Nikki has a question. Come close. Otherwise, take the mic. Take the mic. Don't ask difficult question. I am warning you.
So I had two questions.
Oh my.
So one I wanted to ask is, how would you know between two things, like what Baba wants us to do, and let me remember the second one. I forgot.
You say the second one first, then you remember.
Yeah, second one I
You got it.
remembered.
See, that is how you should juggle your mind. Okay, go ahead.
So is there any shortcut, or if not shortcut, anything that we can do to skip all of that spiritual suffering before we get enlightened?
Ask Salik. Ask your daddy. All right. No, it's a very sincere question. First of all, I feel, this is we are exceeding time, but that doesn't matter. This is my limited understanding. First of all, you must be convinced that Baba is the highest spiritual authority of all times. All times. There's no doubt. But you have to be convinced within yourself, number one. So you don't go here, there to this Baba, this saint, that saint. No. For me, it is only Baba. Number one. Number two is to connect yourself directly with Baba in whichever way you want to connect. If you want to take him to be God, fine. If you want to take him to be your friend, fine. If you want to take him to be your fiancé, fine. If you want to take him to be your business partner, fine. If you want to take him to be the eldest member in your family, fine. Irrespective of how you connect to him, the important thing is connect. And keep that connection alive. How do you keep the connection alive? Supposing you are in love with somebody. I know you are in love. Okay? How do you keep the connection alive? You keep on chatting, WhatsApp, phone, kya khaya, what did you eat, what did you do for breakfast, where did you go? You keep talking. You keep communicating to the person whom you love. Now you may say, but Baba is not there. Then there is just as how we are meeting here, it's a meeting. So remembrance is a form of meeting. It's a kind of meeting, but you are meeting at a different level, at the mental level, at the mind level. So keep communicating with him and be absolutely assured that he will hear your yearnings and he will reply to you in a manner that you are convinced that he got the speed post and he is replying to your whatever. You see? So that is the basic platform. And once you do this, then your job is to see that you please him. Now you may say, what will please him? I don't know. Then you do something wrong. And your heart will say, no, you will feel guilty. You will feel a sense of burden. You will feel very remorse. You will feel sad, oh, I shouldn't have done. That means you start pleasing him by not doing what displeases him. Am I making sense? So that is how you build yourself up in such a manner that you are constantly in touch with him. And once you are constantly in touch with him, you will realize that he remembers you more than you remembering him. Many people experience that he is remembering me. He is indicating do this or don't do this. So many times you feel, oh, but just bach gaya. So how can it be just bach gaya? Because he has got his eyes on you, his nazar. He used to do like this, my nazar is on you. So when his nazar is on you, then you don't worry about, just freak out, enjoy, do anything. Baba has never stopped you from enjoying. Baba has never stopped you from making money. He only says, remember me, love me above everything else, above everybody else, and live your own life and see the difference. Automatically it will happen. You don't need all this gyan. And that is the most important thing. Why? Because even after reading this, one lady was, saying, I've read God Speaks and I know everything. Soumya, you have continue.
Yeah,
This is the
happened in
ladies'
Guru-
department, so I don't
No,
want
this
to.
happened, this happened in Guru Prasad. And after Baba told her, go and meet, I think she was an Australian Baba lover. So Baba said, go and meet Mera.
No,
and-
when she told Baba this, you read, Baba did like this. But this means very good, perfect. I'm very happy. Now continue.
And then she goes to Mera and Mera says, what happened? What did you speak? What did Baba say? So she said, Baba asked me whether you'd read God's peace. And I said, yes. And Baba did like this. So Mera said, asked her to gesture. So when she gestured, Mera said, it means it's a zero.
It is all zero.
This can mean good. And there's something to it which means zero. Whatever the gesture could be.
So it is all fun, it is all maja, it is all God's Leela. Let us participate in His Leela joyfully and happily. The moment we are sad, the moment we are suffering, the moment we say, oh, poor me, why me, that means we are passing on that kind of sadness to Baba, because Baba has a universal body and a universal mind. So any little sadness that I have, I am actually contributing to his sadness. So that is why the easiest way to make him pleased is to be pleased ourselves at all times under all illusory circumstances. Baba's words,
Having
illusory
said
circumstances.
that it's a zero, but Baba wanted us to read it, so we are reading.
So we read it. We read the zero. We still have maybe one session more or two sessions more, and then hopefully we'll shift on to a corollary to this book, which is called the Beams. So we'll follow that. Okay, any more questions? No, in fact, not, I don't know. This is what Mehra said, that all this is actually zero, because ultimately at the end
Not this, but her understanding about God is speak, Baba said,
I don't know.
it was like that. It was not about God is speak, he said zero. So,
I
just,
wouldn't know that. Have you?
yeah.
Can you?
Yes,
if
yes,
You can
I-
give me the source.
yeah, I'll do it.
More than obliged.
Let me
Yeah.
check and I'll-
Please,
I'll
please.
get back to
Thank
you,
you.
yes.
Thank you.
Jai
Thank you
Baba.
for your contribution. Yeah. You have a question?
Yes. So if you said the individual is looking for the creation process to reach the creator, why are individuals going through and choosing so much suffering for themselves? And like that drama, is it a karma sort of?
It is karma.
Okay, but some people they go through so extremes, like
Karma.
it is that.
Basically,
Baba believed in karma?
We are extending time, but never mind.
Okay.
I use this language. Whatever comes to your screen of consciousness, which means whatever experiences that you are experiencing, the good, the bad, the ugly, are the fruits or the harvest of the seeds which you have sown in the past. You may remember the seeds or not. If there is smoke, it means there is fire. If there is an effect, it means there is a cause. You may not remember the cause because you may not sow the seed this life. It may be last life. So in other words, the answer is yes, if you are suffering. But Baba does say that 99% of our suffering is self-created because of our own ignorance. This will take us to another long drawn, but we can do that at some other time.
Okay, thank you.
1 minute.
Ice cream.
Why only 99? Why not 100?
That I forgot to ask him.
Baba said that.
I should have asked
didn't
him.
say- We are not saying, we are quoting
In other
Baba.
words, I know. Well, you have a good question, but I can only say I don't know. Chalo, I think we stop for the day. We'll continue next Saturday with whatever little remaining, and then question answers. Thank you, Baba. Thanks to all of you. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Thank you once again to Naman.